Welcome to Haunted Horizons Ghostcast with Alison Oborn, Craig Cameron and Cag Alwood from Haunted Horizons.
I just hit the wrong button there, Cag.
That's so cool.
Technology, I just kicked myself out. I think every time I do the introduction and that music, I hit the wrong button, and there it is. We've got three gentlemen in the background.
Oh,
they all look like this.
yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them on. There we go. So now, can we hear you, gentlemen, and can you hear us? You seem very far away.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Maybe if we can get closer, and then the camera can just go to whoever's talking, maybe.
All right.
We want to see your pretty faces.
You're screwed there.
Yep.
We've got Dan and Tim, and I can't see who the other one is. Where?
Dan. I got there we are. Richard.
There we are. And from the saving the old properties. Did I get that right?
Yep, saving the old property.
There we go. So these gentlemen I have been absolutely in awe of, especially Dan, because I am such a huge heritage and history fan. And it's breaking my heart to see us losing so much here in Adelaide, isn't it, Cag?
Oh, unbelievable.
It's we're losing so much, and these guys are able to buy these properties, these beautiful historic properties that are decaying or, at risk of being knocked down for developers. Like here, it's just, we can't fight against that. And restoring them. And they've got a little added bonus as well, because most of the ones that they've saved are actually haunted. So,
which is great.
Even more of interest. So not only are they saving the properties, but they're saving whatever is dwelling within these properties. So, all right. I am just trying to bring up some photos for later. I'm just seeing how many comments we've got on here. Oh, Paranormal Encounters. Hello. India and Connor are watching as well, guys.
Hello.
So where are you at the moment, Tim?
Where am I at the moment? We're in Hartford City, Indiana. And
USA.
Here in America. And we're at the Hartford City Jail and Hartford City Blackford County Jail. Old Blackford County Jail.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now. And this guy right here and this guy right here, they live here. So what else you want to know?
Well, we want to know, first off, let's start from the very beginning. So it's Dan, tell us about saving the old properties. How did all this start? So let's go back to the beginning and understand what it is you're trying to do.
Okay. Can you zoom in on our logo here?
He likes that.
We love.
Oh,
yeah.
Let me just bring you up big.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. What we did is after seeing so many buildings poured down, and Richard had landed this place, the old jail over here, and anyway, so we had a bunch of stuff happen to us here, and so we didn't want to tell anybody because thinking we're crazy, and Indiana is quite the conservative area. In fact, I don't think you can get any more conservative than here. So you don't mention ghosts around here, because then they will deem you as,
witch.
Yeah. So anyway, but all the crazy things that did happen here, finally, after one thing that did happen, the word got out, ghost hunters came to us, well, and was willing to pay. So, to come in. So once we got that going, then we realized that money could actually go in and help save other properties. So we looked around for some more historical properties to save, and we found a few. Randolph County Asylum, Stone Mansion, both in Winchester, Indiana. Found an old school in Ohio City, Ohio, and a church in Center, Indiana. Should I say Portland, maybe? So we're in the middle of fixing those up because we didn't want to see all the buildings get pulled down, like they have been, like you've been saying, and or turned into apartments or office buildings, which we don't consider saving the building. They might have saved a little bit of the outside, but the inside's probably more important than the outside, because this is where everything happened. So we try to save it all. And for historical sake, for people to do whatever they want there, historical, educational, just, plethora of stuff. So that's how it all kind of came about. And then we decided, let's just do this full time and make it a nonprofit. So it's now a nonprofit, a full 501c3, which means people can donate and take it off the taxes, donate equipment, donate, money, whatever we need. And so instead of being here physically helping us, they can still help out by donating, money, of course. And we do need some stuff. I think we've got a list. I'm not sure it's up on the website yet, but stuff we do need. And we're just trying to save all we can, which I know I've been told many times, you got too many already. So anyway, but I think because we've only been a 501c3 for maybe a year, if not quite a year. So we're still getting up and going. But anyway, we're going to try and save what we can, because they're getting torn down or turned into apartments real quick. I mean, really fast around here. So, and then if we go in there and see where they've actually drywalled or such, we may take that down. I mean, we're trying to put them back to the way they were. So history all works. That's my little speech about anybody else have anything to add?
And I just to interrupt there, I agree with you. It's a big trend here with developers that they seem to think if they keep the facade of a building, that they're keeping history. And it's like, but the history is inside that building. Knocking down the other side of it and rebuilding has just taken away the history of it. And that's happening more and more here. The developers are getting hold of them. The properties are expensive now because developers can afford them. I've been looking online. You've got some great old places over there that if I was over there, I'd be buying them as well and helping you out. But sadly, it's overseas.
You can still help us out.
I'll buy one.
When I met them and they were over at the asylum, I took them by the church. And they were actually standing up on the bed of my truck, looking in the church windows.
I got an interesting photo from there. I'm going to show some photographs, and we're going to go through some of your properties. And I did take one through the window. I had the camera right up against the glass, so there shouldn't have been any reflection. And I've got an interesting white shape inside the church. I only found it the other day, so we'll show you that as well on here.
We've been very lucky to actually go to a lot of the venues because we've investigated numerous of them. So guys, thank you so much. We've had a blast coming over there.
We appreciate you coming.
And we were supposed to be over last year. We'd all booked in and got ourselves all ready, and unfortunately last year became a bit of a flop for everybody. So
when I when I met Cag and Allison, that was up at the Michigan Paracon. And when I saw their shirts, and then I asked them where they were going next. And they said, we're going down to Randolph County. And I said, oh, really? That's where I work. And they're sitting there going, yeah, right. Bullshit,
Great chat up line.
Yeah.
And then when they showed up and I was actually there, then it was like really cool.
We did think it was a little bit strange because somebody that says he's got the keys to an asylum, you're like, yeah, okay.
I actually have a bedroom there.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a bedroom there, which is even stranger.
Actually, talking of Randolph, Randolph was our very first place. I am just going to clip over to, hopefully, this screen when I share it. So bear with me. There we go. So this was the first place. We weren't even going to go here, were we, Cag? We had a fill-in night, and we're going, well, where can we go? Because we'd done West Virginia and all this, and we thought, oh, look, there's this place. Let's go down and have a look at it.
Well, we never heard of it.
We never heard of it. It's I don't know if the guys can see, it's Randolph County Asylum here. And it's like, oh, it'll be small, it'll be, a fill-in. Oh my God, this place.
It's huge.
We talk about it non-stop. This has become our first and second, my first favorite, I'm going to say, West Virginia Penitentiary. We made friends with the guys there. But this one is up there. Oh my God, this one was scary as hell, wasn't it, Cag? We had the best time at this place. I'm just going to show some photographs as we go through. So can you I'm going to tell you what happened in a minute to us, but can you guys explain to those who don't know what Randolph County Asylum Infirmary is all about? Why did you buy this one?
Oh, the asylum? Well, kept driving by it and seeing it slowly deteriorating. We would see a lot of icicles hanging from the sides, but it was, unfortunately, it was a lot of building for the county to take care of. They had a budget, but didn't go very far. So we put a plan in, gave it the business plan is what we had from the jail, submitted that plan, just changed the name, and we needed some cash, of course. And we told them that we would take good care of it and we would not turn it into a haunted house, with the creepy look and the boarded up windows and everything that makes a haunted house a haunted house. We would keep it as is because it's their history. It's been there since 1899. So it worked here at the jail, so we tried it on a bigger scale. And it seems to be working just fine. You don't have to be a ghost hunter to come there. You can explore for the beautiful architecture, if you love the history. So that's why we bought it. We just want to keep the building standing for the history. Believe it or not, I'm not much of a ghost hunter. I don't ghost hunt that much. I love the old buildings. I love the architecture, everything. So that's why I really started getting into it. But ghost hunters are very important to help, fund the place.
Yeah, I was going to say it because it's very popular. Because obviously we run that type of tour here where we keep it real, and it's the same type of thing that you would do there. And it brings in a lot of money. There's such a lot of interest in that nowadays, and it does bring a lot of finance in to help keep the building and restore the building. Yeah. It is an important part. You do, yeah. So Randolph, yes, I'm going to
60,000 square feet.
Yeah, well, we were shocked, and we were even more shocked when you gave us a key and gave us a phone number for the pizza. Tim, I think you did this.
No, it wasn't.
Was it Tim or was it? Okay,
no,
well, one of you two, gave us a phone number for the pizza and said they deliver. It takes about 20 minutes, and here's the phone number for the police because there's nobody nearby that's going to help you. And then you'll buggered off, leaving. It was brilliant, leaving us in this huge. I'm just showing the photos again. I don't know whether you. I mean, this was kind of a funny little photo, but actually that's how we felt. And we were sitting doing work. I don't know if Tim knows this, but we were sitting doing work in one of the front rooms there. And it got to 1 o'clock in the morning. We still hadn't been out investigating because we could hear male conversations going on down the hallways.
And door slamming.
And door slamming. And like somebody was there. And we were plucking up courage to go down there. It was just, I mean, these are the hallways. So you've got is it the male on one side and the female on the other side on the hallways? It's kind of divided, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just huge. We just didn't expect the size of it. And as you can see, the hallways, they're just amazing with the history. And the dolls. The dolls! Tell us about the dolls, the story behind the dolls. I'm sure
the dolls?
Dolls.
Doors, right?
There was a lady there named, her name was Doris Addington. And Doris Addington got there when she was 11 years old because her parents died. And when she was 9 years old, she got kicked in the head by a mule. And then when she recovered, all she had was a speech impediment. All right. And then 2 years later, after she got kicked, her parents died in an automobile accident. All right. And then the other siblings that she had thought it'd be a lot easier for them to get adopted if they didn't have a retarded sister. It's a bad word to say, but that's just how they said it. And so they dumped her off at the front door when she was 11 years old. Her parents just died and nobody wanted her and they just dumped her off at the front door. And then she stayed there and she became the cook. And whatever room she was in, she had a doll collection. Okay, and whatever room she went in, the dolls were with her. And then she actually died there. She could have left at any time, but that was her home. And downstairs on the female side, on the north side of the building, there is a sick bay. On each floor was a sick bay, infirmary inside the infirmary. And that's where she passed away, and that's where the dolls are at. Some of the dolls that are in there were Doris's, and the other dolls that people brought in after that. But that's how the dolls got there, and that's the quick story behind how the dolls did get there. And people they donate money and stuff like that down in the kitchen because there is a picture of her down there on the countertop. So, and that money goes right back into the property.
Barbie.
Okay, and Barbie, one of the tour guides, Ted, he stuck a Barbie doll on a pole. Well, basically, it's a piece of conduit, and people put dollar bills in her shirt and her dress.
Yeah,
so
that is hilarious.
Yeah, triple Barbie there.
Yeah, he brings one.
Stripper Barbie was not Doris's.
No, that's right.
I'm sure Doris. Yeah, I'm sure Doris wouldn't have had stripper Barbie. It was actually Ted that took us on the history tour there, and he was fascinating doing it at the same time. It was Ted that left us the keys and then left us alone. We were like, okay.
And Richard does a lot of maintenance and a lot of work on the place. He joined us about a year ago, and he can do about anything and everything there. So he's been quite the asset, and he's kind of like the overseer. Tim.
It's all good.
Tim does a lot of work too. Pretty much the same thing, but
he's the boss.
Yeah, he kind of is now the boss. So since he came here,
I got demoted.
Yeah, he got demoted again. I mean, he got demoted.
That sucks.
Yeah, but Tim still has his full reign like he used to. We try to make it a pleasant experience, and I try not to use the word work, so it just takes all the fun out of it. But we like to improve the places, make them nice, and try to turn them back the way they were. So we're not.
Yeah, which is brilliant.
We would like somebody to come in and say that was originally there and say, wow, you haven't done a thing to this place. Make it look like what they want. It would be great.
And by the way, guys, down below, not for the people who are watching, down below, you've got 2 links that's scrolling across the screen. You've got the website, which is savetheoldproperties.com, but you've also got Patreon. They do have Patreon, and that's patreon.com, Saving the Old Properties. Now, you can help them out by becoming a Patreon member over there. And that money, again, goes into helping restore these old properties as well. So don't forget, that's a way you can help. Just because you're not over there and you're not visiting these places, you can still help these places. So go and visit Patreon and see how you can help there. Now, after we went to Randolph, Tim, you took us to this church over here. So is this your newest one that you've bought?
Is that the last one we bought?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last one that Dan bought. And that church, if you look at it, if any of you people over there are into the Rocky Horror Picture Show, it looks, but how the Rocky Horror Picture Show, how that starts out, it starts out in a church that looks just like that one. And I'm actually going to have a Rocky Horror Picture Show party there as soon as COVID lets up. And it's going to dress up if you want to come over for it. I don't wear Dr. Frankenfurter clothes. I dress up like Eddie. But that is our Dan's newest acquisition, and
That's all you.
that's all me, baby. But and if you do remember that show at the asylum, the best way to classify what I do, if you like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I am Riff Raff. If you know who Riff Raff was, that's what I do. So
And practices it a lot.
yeah. So,
Cool.
but yeah,
That's
I
cool.
mean, there's always something to do, and we have a school over in Ohio, and just right next door to Indiana, and well, that's just for the people. Don't laugh at me.
Well,
that's for the people that
It's
are
just
over
over
there.
the border, what do you mean?
Yeah, over the
Oh,
border,
right.
Indiana.
Wow, yeah.
And we had that, and this is a sad story, but I think it really helps out now because I've had people over there ghost hunting, and this guy's name come across the meters. So I do know that it is a very active place now. I actually was over there one day and I had Dan on the phone, and I was looking for a trash can, and
I was guiding them where to go.
he told me where it was at. So I started walking around the gymnasium, and I got around the back side on the south side of the gym, and there was a blue car. And I said, Dan, there's a blue car here. He said, do you see the driver? And I said, no, not yet. And as I walked around, I said, wait a minute, there he is. He looks like he got beat up because he was all bloody. And as I got closer, there was a real wicked smell. And as I got closer to him, I could see the flies, I could see the maggots, I could see all the blood, and then I saw the gun in his lap. I know it's a sad story, but I called the coroner, and she said he was out there for 4 to 5 days, and I am just so glad that I found him instead of the children that were playing next door. And
Oh yeah.
that, I mean, it stays with me with what I found. And after the coroner bagged and tagged him and took him away, I'm taking pictures, sending it to Dan, and the cop goes, hey, this is a crime scene. I'll take pictures. I'm like, okay, you're right, buddy. Well, anyways, after they left, I said, aren't you going to clean this up? Because there was tissue there, parts of the skull that was still there, and other stuff. And they said, no, let Mother Nature take care of it. And that didn't sit well with me. So what I did is I gathered it all up. I put it in a box and I buried it out back. So
It's under the clothes.
yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody where it's at, because if people come there to ghost hunt, they're going to probably try and dig him up. So I'm not going.
Yeah.
I don't say where he's at now, but I mean, with all the properties that Dan and Rich have, and I'm just riffraff, I got a big part of me into these buildings. So
Yeah.
I mean, I really care about it all. I probably care about as much of these buildings as they do, and they own them. And And I yell at him
Good.
all the time.
Yeah.
I yell at him all the time to stay off the grass and quit, because he wants to kill the weeds, and he has brown patches, and I tell him to stay the heck off of it. And I'm actually yelling at him, and he owns the stuff.
I say, hey, I'm glad he cares that much.
He's passionate, and that's what you want, is passionate people that are working with you. Yeah, for sure. Very quickly, because we'll go for a little walk around where you are, but I'm just going to show the Stone Mansion. So that was our visit to the Stone Mansion. That is just beautiful.
Oh, stunning.
Just the most amazing mansion. And when we got there, it was quite, because I think you'd only just recently purchased it, and you were still just cleaning it up. And I gather it's come a long way since then. I've seen people doing investigations there, like Paranormal Quest and Paranormal Encounters. Yes, I've been there. And it's been interesting watching their investigations, because I've seen how much it's changed, which is great to see where the money's going. And
Are we back on camera right now, Allison?
You are. They always can see you in the corner there. So
this little girl right here is this lady right here does the tours at the mansion also. So she was there with Connor and Indy also. This is Melinda. So
yeah, we met Melinda.
Hi, hello.
She did the other live stream for us as well with Tim, I believe, if we remember rightly.
Yes.
From the Stone Mansion. Yes. Hi, how are you doing? Apart from looking cold there.
It is cold here.
How can men stand there in t-shirts when you've just given me how cold is it over there at the moment?
Outside it's about 26 degrees and feels like 9 in Fahrenheit.
And there's the men in their t-shirts. So
I won't go outside with this on.
So we're going to quickly look at what it was like when these are my photographs that I took when I was there with you, Tim. They're kind of looking pretty much how when you bought it. I mean, it's just an amazing place. I'm just going to quickly go through here, just so people get an idea.
That's the hinges to the doors.
Those hinges are absolutely, amazing. So now I have seen, as I say, if you haven't watched Paranormal Quest and Paranormal Encounters episodes, go and have a look, because it's come a long way. Just the marble carved fireplaces are astounding. Have you had any experiences in there yourself, guys?
What was that?
Have you had any paranormal experiences in the Stone Mansion yourself?
Oh yeah, I have. I've actually, and I don't take meds, believe me, but I've seen two apparitions out front. I've seen 2 of them in the back. I've seen a little girl in a yellow dress up in the top of the stairs. Melinda has seen some people in the hallway upstairs. When I'm there, it's like I'll hear people walking upstairs. When I'm down in the basement, I can hear it upstairs. I've been scratched down in the basement. I have something. When we were down there tearing all the drywall off the walls, something said, tear this wall off. So we tore the wall off, and we found windows that went out underneath the porch, and we found some railing that we needed for the fence. There's some slate pieces for the roof upstairs, but something said, tear that wall off. So we tore the wall off. So I'm here. I'm not hearing stuff, but I'm hearing things, when I'm over there, because, just being somewhere, and I think whatever is in there knows that we're there to help it instead of hurt it, because not only the asylum, the mansion, and the school, I feel that they are alive. There is something in there.
Yeah, and very respectful as well, which is great. One last one before we go over to where you are now, and it doesn't get much of a mention as much as the other places, but we were lucky enough to go in and investigate as well, and Tim took us around the Speakeasy around the corner from the jail that you've got. Is that open and ready now? There's Tim on the photograph.
No kidding?
Yeah, I've got you right next to that door. That awesome door that's in the...
I want to look at it.
You're just in the corner there.
Where am I at?
Can you see the photograph?
Oh, okay. I thought that was one of them. I thought that was one of them crash dummies that they have.
Usually done pictures, so.
So it's got this wonderful original door, and isn't it something to do? It's really heavy. It's something to do with the fire. If there's a fire or something, that the cord will burn through and shut and protect people. Is that right, or did I get that wrong?
It's a fire door. It does have a little piece of metal. When it heats up, it breaks, and then the door is on an angle, and it slides down. It's a heavy door.
Yeah.
So it stops the fire from crossing over.
Which is interesting design, isn't it? And you've got the old. It used to be a bank as well, I believe.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't where people actually came in, but it was where they used to keep the stocks, bonds, property deeds, and such like that, so the big ones were safe in there.
Yeah, I've just got a picture of the photograph of the safe up. I mean, that is just
stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, luckily they left it open when they left. So.
And I have found out how to change a combination in it too.
Have you?
Yes, I have. The legal way.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, all right, that brings us. I think we've looked at most of your properties. We only got about. We were so tired. We finished at the jail and we went across to the Speakeasy. I think we only spent half an hour in there, and I think it's the only place I've ever been caught out sleeping while I'm filming. Because by then we were so exhausted. I'd love to get back and do it properly next time. We kind of focused on the jail that time, but it was so cool. All right, so where you are at the moment, because we're going to go for a little walk through, and I'm just going to bring up a photo because people can see the outside. You don't want to go outside because it's extremely cold out there. But just
you want me to run outside with the phone?
No, it's all right. I've got a lovely photograph up now that encompasses what it looks like from outside. You're safe. You don't have to go out and freeze in that t-shirt.
Cool.
And we were very lucky. We did actually get to investigate here, and I'm going to just tell what we had happened. We still haven't put the episode up. Actually, we're still tracking through all our footage. Years later, we've got so much of it. But I think the one point that we remember was when we heard the footsteps coming around the back of us, didn't we? There was a bang.
Yeah, we were actually sat in the cells.
Yeah,
and it came along. The walkway that you go around into the cells actually came round that way.
And it was very clear, very unnerving, as we sat in that little cell block. But, you know, we've still got to go through a whole lot more on that. So,
the other thing we had, do you have issues with the lights in that building?
Heat and lights?
Do you have issues with the lights?
Oh.
You said?
Yeah, we have flickering.
Do they come on for no reason whatsoever?
That we haven't had, no.
No.
Well, no, we did just one time, but it was electric candle, and it came on after I unscrewed the bulb almost all the way out, and it just came on all of a sudden because the people filming didn't want it on. It came on all of a sudden. It didn't flicker, nothing, just on. So we don't know how that happened. Shouldn't have. That's the only time when a light came on. Yeah.
Well, you can tell them what happened to us, Cag.
Well, we had a good look around, took some photos during the daylight. Then we decided to go and get something to eat before we had to investigate, because we have to coincide our filming time with Australian time. So what that's an awful picture, Alison.
I didn't mean to show that one of you.
Thank you. That's really bad. So what we did is we made sure all the lights were out when we locked up the building. We looked back at the building, it was all dark. And then when we came back from eating, we had several lights on in the house and in the jail area as well.
Yeah. It all turned on in the living area. And we thought maybe you had it on a timer, but
No.
it was really weird.
And the cat was sitting at the window watching us coming in.
The cat was looking at us as though we shouldn't be there. It was not happy. So, actually, at one point, we thought the cats were actually staring at us because they looked really evil in the dark. And then we realised they're both fast asleep.
So, it was like you shouldn't be here. But yeah, it was the light. It was just like all the lights came on while we were out, and it was just really weird. We just assumed you had timers on them, that maybe they came on at a certain time when it got dark, but obviously not. So.
Do you remember which light?
Which light?
Sorry? Yeah, it was the lights in the living area, where the living quarters were.
It was the main lights.
Yeah, the main lights downstairs and upstairs.
Did we have one come on in the cellar downstairs as well? Did we have something come on?
Oh yeah, we did, and one came on down in the cellar.
Just one.
Yeah, I can't
Just
remember
one.
which one. Yeah.
It was really weird.
A lot of them. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to let these guys, they're going to take you, if you're happy to, take us for a little walk around, give us a bit of history and some of the ghostly goings on at the jail there.
We just heard a whistle in the back room.
Oh, did you?
Upstairs. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
So,
All right.
where do you want us to start? You want us to start in cell block?
Look, just take them for it. People would love, because I mean, obviously Australians aren't all going to get over there, so they'd love to see.
He's going to get his coat on.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to get my coat on too. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's cold out there, so. You were going back, while they're doing that, we'll just chat, because you got woken up. I'm just remembering at the Randolph County.
Oh yes, when it was nighttime, we decided we got to have some sleep. Oh yes.
You got woken up by the sofa shaking.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the sofa, and about 2 hours later, I woke up to the sofa being shaken, and I was the only one in the building at the time. So.
Because I was sleeping out in the car.
It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. And was I frightened? Yes, I was. Was I tired? Yes, I went back to sleep. I was so tired.
I'll just pull the light on up there. Let's just take him up here first. You want to go up first? We'll go upstairs to a female. There's not much up there.
Yeah, no, let's go in here.
Let's go back this way.
Because you can give us a little bit of history as you go around, and if anything's happened there.
We'll go through this door so we can. Nope. All right, Dan, let's go this way.
You can open it.
Yeah.
So when are we going now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the tour now? Okay. I guess how long do you want this to last?
Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes, if that's all right.
Okay,
20 minutes.
We gotta go fast.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
as long as you want. There's no time limit on it, but yeah, whatever.
A brief little history. It was built in the late 1870s and ran until like November of 1995. So it was jail for quite some time. Okay.
Do you know how many people would have passed through that? Is there any statistics on how many
We're
prisoners?
not allowed to look.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we did have a person named John Dillinger come through, but only as a guest. Okay, so
Oh, that's cool. That door there. That's really cool.
yeah, that is a turnstile, and that will only allow one-way traffic. So it's a one-way door. Now here, let me turn it for you. Once it's all the way around, then he can step out, but nobody can come in. So I have to turn it around. Now we can go in. Go ahead and go on in.
I would have been easier to go around that way for everybody to get in.
Right?
Am I right to say, isn't there only 2 left in the
Everybody else.
country?
Hang on, Kay. What'd you say, Allison?
Isn't there only 2? Now, I could be wrong. That's what I'm questioning. Isn't there only 2 working ones left in the country?
I can't hear you when he's turning that thing. Hang on. Hang around. All right. You want
All
to come this way, Linda? Hang on. Here's the smart one. He went around that way.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right.
And we got it. We got to show her. Yeah. First cell phones in town.
Cell phone, get it?
Love it.
Okay. Real 1870s style handcuffs. Those are shackles, though.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And handcuffs. The wall, ceiling, and floor are granite. 8 inches of granite. So nobody ever. There's only two people ever escaped, but that was because they did an addition that they didn't do very well, so they're able to jiggle that loose and get out. But original design, nobody escaped.
That's cool.
The bars are solid steel, and they are pretty good thickness. We've this is where you heard the footsteps in here, didn't you?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. They were on the outside, not in the cell area.
On the
Yeah.
catwalk.
That pathway, yeah.
Yep, on the catwalk. That's where the sheriff and deputies used to check on the prisoners.
Yes.
We can walk around that way. So looking down the catwalk,
Yeah.
Yep.
you can
That's it.
peer in on the prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
We'll walk through here. And they used to walk in that. Yeah, why don't you describe? Yeah, go ahead, you say. So I worked here when it was still a jail, and so I'd do this once an hour and check on the inmates. And one time I walked through, and a guy was just getting ready to hang himself, and I just, without even missing the beat, just said, "You don't want to do that." So I went down around, signed my hourly, came back around, and he had his shirt all tied around his neck and stuff. So he had big around. And that was in this room right here, right?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So this is the drunk tank. By law, they had to separate the prisoners from the drunk. So when they
Like me.
yeah, like him. So when they go ahead and lock it. We'll keep Tim in here.
It's a good place for him.
Yep.
Been there, done that.
So back in the day, that's one of the reasons why this place got condemned, because they had the drunk in with the regular prisoners, so they had to convert it to where it was a separate entrance and separate exit for the drunks.
All right. That's cool.
Let's go down the dungeon.
Dungeon?
Let's go down the dungeon.
To the dungeon.
Oh, the dungeon's great. Looks like a medieval castle dungeon.
It does.
I got my torch. Everybody got their torches?
Mine's little.
Yeah, always.
That does not surprise me.
Oh, good answer. Good answer.
God damn, poor Tim.
All right, let's go back here in the dungeon.
Yep. We got an evidence room with a little bit of evidence still left in there, Tag.
Nobody stolen yet?
Get a good shot of it. Plumbing.
Now the reception's breaking up, but we'll keep seeing. Hopefully, don't forget, guys, they're deep underground with granite.
Can you
see all the shackles? Is it dying in here? You got reception?
We very pixel, but we can still get you.
It's good. Yep.
All right, you see the shackles up here? He just hung up here. That's pretty cool. But look at the archway. I knew this one girl up where I live that says that she grew up here, and she used to stay on the hill outside and talk to her boyfriend through the bars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't want to go in that room. That room, we got doing a lot of work in there. But come down here. This is where I always hit my head on this damn thing.
Who can do it?
Yeah, I hope I don't break it.
You've never moved it.
Normally people learn after a while.
You know, that's right.
The smart one.
Can you guys see in here?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, get everybody in here. Okay, get it. You see? Can you guys see? Can you see me over here? Okay,
Yeah.
now everybody, shut their lights off. Shut your lights off, everybody. Can you see how dark it is in here?
Yeah, black.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, if you come over here, was it in the fall that we had them two girls in here
I don't remember.
from the radio station?
Yeah, I think so.
Believe it or
Halloween.
not, I actually got my butt through here.
That is hard to believe, but you did.
Yeah, I did. And I even grabbed this girl and slid her through too. So it was, but I mean, it was hard to get out of there.
So what's in there?
It's like an old cell. We don't know if they ever used it at one time, but we're gonna check and see if they were ever used. But there's 6 cells like that down here in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And if you come down here, just stay down there. Watch your light down here. This is it. It goes out. It just looks like an old catacombs down here. So it goes into a dead end right here, but there's a space that you can get out into where it looks like an old medieval castle out there. But this is all cut stone that they put down in here.
Wow.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, limestone.
It's not that bad down here.
And we have had people. Well, we did have a person bit in here, and the following weekend, it just real small bite. So what we know wasn't, somebody doing it themselves.
Yeah.
And I was videoing at the time. And the following weekend, I took a picture. There was a little kid, like he was standing in the corner, and he was only about 3 feet tall.
Wow.
So
That'd be a meter over where you're at.
yeah, a meter. But yeah, this is how the cell doors open. You actually have to hand crank from the outside individually.
Oh,
So there's the first cell, the second cell. So we're under the cells right now. And this is unfinished granite above us. And all this limestone here, they say that limestone holds a lot of energy, and there's crystals throughout this. So they say crystals hold energy, and there's a little bit of dents on the floor. So we've got all the makings for holding energy. So a lot happens down here. A lot of stones, a lot of stones get thrown at people, but it's more like we're trying to get your attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Playful.
so nothing bad.
This is
I
where
don't
I
think
always hit my head coming out of here.
Okay, get a close up of him hitting his head.
No. Who you guys?
Oh, he hit his head.
Each one of them.
Did you get the close up?
I tried.
Did he do it again?
Yes, I did it. Dang it.
he needs to be wearing a hard hat.
You know, for the shortest person there, he shouldn't have to be doing that, should he?
No.
Yeah. No.
So those are the creepiest places we got. Going through the cell block and coming down here into the dungeon basement, whatever you want to call it. That's the creepiest places we got in here, I think.
Well, or the attic.
Oh yeah, we gotta go to the attic upstairs. Let's go upstairs.
I was gonna say, we haven't reached the place that I have found the most.
Oh yeah,
That'd be my house.
my room.
So do you know how many deaths there were in the building?
What was that?
Do you know how many deaths there were that happened in the building?
You gotta talk to Dan about that.
Deaths in the building.
Oh, Des?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. That's what started all this. Let me tell you when we get up there.
All right. Okay.
I'll do that next.
Okay.
This is the old sheriff's office,
That's sheriff's office.
and the
Where's the light
stairway.
switches, man, up here?
Stairway going upstairs. Now we're on the residence side now.
There we go.
The sheriff had to live on site in a attached building.
Wow.
Dan's going in there.
So, lived here for 2 years and never thought about it being haunted. So I moved in August of 2000 and never heard, saw nothing to make it was haunted. Richard and I thought we might turn it in a museum or something. We just didn't want to see it tore down. There was like 9 people bidding on the place, and we got it luckily. But 7 wanted to tear it down for parking.
Yeah.
So anyway, one night I was laying in bed. I just laid down, and just like right on cue, this huge guy walks into my bedroom. And he wasn't looking down at me, but he walks in and he goes to the foot of my bed. But I realized about the 3rd step in, he wasn't real because he didn't make a single sound. But other than that, he was completely real. But he turns around and he looks right at me, takes a little bit of a bow, looks right at me, and about 2 seconds later, he gave me this most beautiful, tranquil smile.
Oh, wow.
And so I figure he's not here to harm me. Well, long story short, he stood back up and walked out, and it was about 20 seconds later, shoot, now I'm the crazy old guy that lives in the jail.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's cool.
At least that's what I say.
The fact that he smiled would say maybe he approved. He knows what you're doing.
I'm hoping, yeah. What happened was I didn't tell anybody for 2 years, but I graduated with a guy who knew everything about this town. So I finally asked him, and he doesn't talk to anybody. He's kind of an introvert. Well, he is. He's an introvert. But anyway, so I talked to him, and I described the guy, and he said, well, that sounds like Ed Townsend. And I said, who's Ed Townsend? You know, the sheriff that died downstairs in the sheriff's office. 1977, we had a sheriff go out on a domestic, and he got gunned down by a drunk. Ed Downson took over, lasted 3 days, died of a massive heart attack, and then another sheriff took over. So with 1 week, we had 3 sheriffs, and I remember the news team being here. But the guy said, "What do you look like?" And I described him, and he said, "Well, his niece works right across the street." And when I went over to talk to her, she goes, "How'd you know all this stuff?" I described him perfectly. He had sparkly blue-gray eyes, and he had a white T-shirt and dark pants on, which he always wore when he wasn't on duty. And she just couldn't figure out how I knew all this. So I said, "Well, because that happened." So, but his niece, he practically raised. So she was, every time she saw me after that, she goes, "Say hi to Uncle Ed for me." So,
Oh,
yeah,
Oh, that's
but
cool.
I described him that accurately.
yeah.
So, and then I don't feel so crazy. But a lot of things have happened since that I can't factually back up. But this guy, yeah, to a T. And when I saw a picture of him afterwards, yeah, it was him.
Wow.
Going into my brain, but yeah, died in 1977.
Wow.
Not stereotypic at all, is it?
No.
No, that's cool. That's really
Head
interesting.
on up to the attic.
Now, we couldn't find the attic. Remember, Cag, we kept going round and round in circles trying to
Right
find
here.
it. I know, we just couldn't find the
Right
way
here.
up. We never got up there.
Although we couldn't find a way out of a paper bag, though, could we?
We went up and down that building, didn't we? We just didn't find
Yeah.
it.
I actually have a picture of a head back there in that corner. So I actually have a picture of a head back in that corner. There's a little kid that was up here. There's a bunch of people here that day, and the guy's kid is right here. But behind his head, there's actually a face back in there. So I do have that picture. And supposedly they used to hang people here.
We don't know for sure. We're trying to still check that out.
Okay.
Yeah. But
It was either a backup or they actually did.
Right.
got full noose right there.
They would have dropped them right through there.
So you have got a trapdoor there.
Yes. Yes, there is one.
Yeah, we didn't go there yet. We still have time. We can go to that part.
Yeah.
And that's where I've had my most intense.
Right here? Downstairs. Okay. And over here in this corner is supposedly there's kids that hang out in this corner right here. I have actually heard something like that a couple times that I've been here, because I personally do not come here that much because it's kind of weird. I just don't like staying the night in jails anymore.
Yeah.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. So you can tell them the rest, Dan.
Oh, like the toys here. We had a medium come through and say that she knows there's a little girl that lives up here in the attic. And so that's why we have toys and the old slate. But she wanted to come over with a ghost group, and she'd been here 3 times prior. And she goes, that girl just drained me. I have to sleep the entire day the next day. So the medium came over with a group, a nearby group with them. And so we came up in the attic. We were standing right here. I was here, the medium, and then another person from the group. And the medium said, "Is there a little girl that lives," got about that far, lives up here, and pitter-patter her feet from that point right there back to the corner. Well, we all got our flashlights out, and I walked over there to see if we can debunk it for any reason. I couldn't see anything, so all reconvened back here, and she no more got out saying, "How old are you?" And pitter-patter feet came back to this spot, so that's why we were keeping toys right here. And
Oh, cool.
No, that's
I'm
not-
guessing about a 5-year-old maybe. Sound like running
Right.
around with no shoes on. But anyway, and we've got the name Patty, Laura, and then somebody recently, one of the ghost detectors, ghost investigators said there was a boy up here. So.
You know what's funny? Is we came up here earlier and I saw that, how old are you?
Uh-huh.
And instantly I thought 5.
Oh, really? Wonder why you started laughing.
I instantly was
funny
thinking
looking.
5.
That's-
They could
So you saying that,
Yeah.
that's why I was laughing. Because that's the exact age I was thinking in my head.
We've had some interesting things happen up here as well. The doll right there in the red, I found it in a garage sale, and it's older. So, and I've never had kids or been around kids really. So I asked the group that was there that night, could any loving parents bring the doll up from clear down from the first floor? The group said, yeah, somebody will bring it up. Well, they wanted me to stay that night, so I was walking around and noticed it was still there an hour later. And I thought, well, so I asked them again. They said, okay, yeah, somebody will bring it up. Then I found it about a half an hour later up on the landing, going up the steps on the landing. Why they would only bring it up halfway. And then about another hour later, it was at the top of the steps before we come up here to the attic. So I just grabbed it and walked it on up. I thought, nobody's going to bring it on up. Well, that group insists that they did not move it from the first set of stairs to the second to the landing. So they actually said, nope, it was not us. Trust me, it was not us. So, and I believed them, and then I screwed it up and brought it on up. So I had somebody, I guess if I'd asked first, then maybe we might have seen somehow getting up here. So maybe the doll was willed to come up here. Don't know.
That's cool. Love it.
And we got some lot more strange stuff, but we're going to show you where we'll show you
Thanks. Yeah. Holy
a
crap.
couple more cells.
There's a hole right there. I found it.
Be careful. Don't need people going through floors, okay?
I'm putting a jacket on, Keg.
Putting a jacket on, far out.
It's so cold in this office at the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm over there.
I'll find it.
Yeah. Yeah. Where we going now? We're going to go to the upstairs. We're going to go up to the women's side.
Okay. Somebody's asking, do you have a YouTube channel?
Do we? No. We're thinking
You
about getting it.
Okay.
So this is a common kitchen, though. They used to cook the meals here and slide them in through there.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So the trays went through there. So if you look up there, you'll see a square. Can you see the square? The wooden square. That's where we were told it was either was a backup hanging place or actually happened.
Okay.
And they would have dropped them through the floor. So upstairs, it's a metal floor, and they would have taken out a couple grates that's underneath the metal. So we'll head up there. So is this the noise you heard, Glenda?
No, it was a whistle earlier.
Oh, no, I mean,
No, so, it's a female presence that's very distraught. And I don't know if it's somebody that was hung or maybe somebody who, had a loved one that was hung or something to that effect, but very distraught female, innocent, not guilty, didn't do it. Very distraught. And I felt it the first time I walked through the jail, which was actually even later here. And then tonight we walked up and I still felt that same, not as strong, but that same presence, that same female presence.
the investigation, I think, bring them back.
Maybe.
But this was the women's cell, dormitory style. And, but I'm guessing in the 1860s when they designed the place, they really didn't have women in mind. So they just had a couple of beds made up at all times, I was told. So, but we have a lot of ask questions and such. They get a lot of answers and stuff in this room, but I don't know of anybody seeing anything in this room.
All right.
So we'll head on over to the I don't know, I should have pointed them out because I didn't know we were coming up here. The cell doors are in the basement for these rooms, but it's going to take quite a few people to carry them back up.
Right.
So this room here was the holding cell / overflow. So once again it was dormitory style, and at one time they added some rooms in here, and they covered up all the graffiti. So when we pulled the boards off and stuff, because the room was really new looking, so it was only put in the 1990s. We found all this graffiti underneath.
Oh, cool.
So we got it back down to the original. But they had to add an interrogation room and a soundproof room. So they were condemned until they did it, so they hurried up and did it. And recently opened, we're now above the jail cells.
Oh, we can get to see that.
Yeah, and we can go on in.
Ooh.
But now we're standing on 8 inches of granite.
Wow.
And what they did when they built the place, because there's 4 inches between the brick and the granite, we were able to figure out that they built the cells first and then built the building around it, because they went clear to Michigan to quarry the granite because limestone was too soft. They must have saw that Shawshank before they built it. So we found a lot of neat things up here, a lot of old bottles, coins and such, because when we got it, there was 18 inches of blown insulation in here. And then under that was a 1911 newspaper, and under that was 1909. That's how they used to try to insulate, was throw down newspapers.
Oh, that's awesome.
But unfortunately, the newspapers just disintegrated as soon as we touched them. Here's some old shorts over here, or work clothes. Not much left, but coveralls.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Look at
that. That's pretty much it on a quick tour.
That's great. Thank you
for
that.
Yeah, I mean, did you want to know more of what people saw here, or do you have time, or?
Yeah, I'd love to hear some of the ghosts. Yeah, what people have seen.
Okay. I'll show you some of the stuff that's happened, more of the highlights.
Do you know what, Alison? I can't wait to get back there.
I know. I'm looking forward to getting back. It's just frustrating. We can't get back there yet.
So, what do you think of the place?
I was going to film some highlights if they had time. So
Fantastic.
Absolutely awesome. Everybody's saying thank you so much.
Was I okay with my language? I'm sorry.
You were well behaved, Tim.
You were, Tim. It's almost like you weren't there.
I knew you could do it.
I didn't get a spanking. I'm good.
That's
So,
in part.
how much time do we got left?
Look, it's up to you. We're just going with the flow. If you want to tell a couple of stories about what people have seen there, that would be great. And then
I am not the guy for that. It's these two.
I'll turn this light off right here. But one night when I was going to bed, most things happen between 12. Let me turn this off. Between 12 and 3:30. I guess that's stereotypic. That doesn't happen. That's about the only thing normal here. But I was walking through, turned lights off, and there was a guy at the top of the steps looking down. Now, he was a shadow figure, and so I could not make out any, facial features. But the guy was huge, not very tall, but just huge, really, really big arms and legs and like me, neck, and bigger than Tim. Believe it or not. I'm standing there like this at the top of the steps. Well, I reached up trying to find the light switch, and I didn't take my eyes off him. Turned the light on, he was gone. Turned the light back off to see what shadows or what. No, completely gone still.
Cool.
I have no idea what that was about. Things happen so quick and so unusual that sometimes you really don't want to say because of
You're nuts.
You're nuts, or who's your supplier because we want some too. But
You actually made it funny.
I do that occasionally. In the living room, well, I guess we'll go in the living room. One of the first things that happened, I saw the sheriff first, the past sheriff. But when it really got strange is when, now a while ago, the couch was over here, and the room was basically flipped. But I stood up from the couch and looked over here, and there was a woman's shoe on the floor. And there shouldn't have been any women's shoe here. So it was an old shoe, and I'm guessing 1920s. Do you guys remember penny loafers? Do you have penny loafers in Australia? Anyway, it was kind of a neat looking shoe, but it's too hard to explain a shoe. But it didn't have much of a heel, and it was really wore out, like it must have been a everyday shoe for the inside. But it was a right-footed shoe. The big toe, when it gets pushed over like this, called a hammer toe or carbuncle or something like that, you could tell whoever shoe that was had one so bad it pulled the leather away from the sole.
Ooh.
So I went to go pick it up. I took about a half step, and right then this white silk stocking started forming out of the shoe in a clockwork pattern. And he kept going, and going and start taking on a woman's cat. I thought, somebody's going to appear right in front of me. And it kept going. Then it got in about so high, then it got into this beautiful, intricate lace. It didn't slow it down, just kept going. And it took about 30 seconds for the whole entire sock to develop. About so tall, about this much lace. And as soon as it got done with like a half moon all the way across the top, it just fell right on top of the shoe. The shoe took off with the sock flapping behind it. Got just a hair brighter, but went right underneath this door. From there, just right underneath this door, which there's no room underneath the door, but it just went right underneath the door.
Wow.
That's
Now
fascinating.
you want to know who my supplier is? I mean, when you hear stuff like that, you don't tell too many people because they're going to think that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's great that it's coming from somebody so rational, and as I said, your priority is history, not ghosts. So to have something like that,
right?
Really interesting.
It's fun. I mean, I'm even Christian. I'm not supposed to see this stuff, right? Mom, no, I see it.
Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So, we've had a lot of other things happen in this room. We had a couple two guys, kids, 21, stay the night, and they wanted 3 nights. They said, you can't set up and expect to get something, setting up, film for a short time, tear down and leave in one night. You're not going to get much. They wanted to stay 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Most people come on the weekends. So the room was still flipped. One of the nights they spent in here, and they brought the Jacob's ladder in here. And they said they're going to sleep with the Jacob's ladder on. They said they'll never do that again because they had a camera here point towards that door, which covered them. Camera at that door pointing this way. Still, they had the whole room covered. Well, about 3:30 in the morning, they heard something rustling, and they saw a little. I guess I'm not sure what it is. Indian style gnome, I guess, because there's a lot of Indians back here, and I'm not sure the proper term, but they saw climbing up the inside of the doorway. It rattled a few things on top and jumped off the other side. Well, there's only been like 2 ever recorded, one in the UK, not Australia, but one over in Europe, and the other one in Florida.
Right.
And they thought they got it. Yes, we got it. So they went and checked this camera, swung towards the wall. That one was bad. So Indians were those little pranksters.
Yeah.
2 blocks over is Kickapoo Street from the Kickapoo Indians. Used to be a trail there. And when Hartford City expanded, what we call this street? Kickapoo Street. And it was the only Kickapoo Street for years and years.
Wow.
I've heard a few more now. So, but the gnome has been seen 2 other times here too.
Wow.
Gnome or whatever, whatever they call it. Yeah. And I've seen them, and I have seen them. So I looked online, see how the Indians described them. The body seems to be fairly common, but I've yet to see that face.
Right.
So one of the renditions is what I've seen. So,
wow. Yeah, that's cool.
That's excellent.
I mean, it happened so suddenly. You don't know when it's going to happen. If I knew more, I'd just carry a camera with me. Because I mean,
guarantee if you have a camera running, it probably wouldn't happen anyway.
Well, exactly like what happened to the kids. So the guys that were standing.
The way of it, No, that's brilliant. Everybody, by the way, is just going, thank you for doing this for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I still got a 2-hour drive home tonight.
And don't forget, guys who are watching, don't forget these guys are doing it at the goodness of the heart. They're not doing it for any other reason. But show some support to them. Go and visit the website, but definitely go and look at their Patreon page and see if you can help that way, because that helps.
We need a bucket truck. We need a backhoe.
They need so much. And they need more properties, I'm sure.
We're always looking. Always. I know we can't save them all, but we're trying to save the ones that have some really nice history behind it, or architectural.
He always has me go home different ways, because I do live 2 hours away from here. And he always has me go different ways to find different buildings. And we found one, I don't know what's up with it, but it's a 2-room schoolhouse built in 1900. So that's up in the air right now. But I'm always on the lookout for new properties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So am I. I'm always looking out on. I'm always looking out on property on America, because there's just some amazing old buildings. I just sit there and I go, God, I wished I lived over there, because I would purchase that and save that one and that one and that one as well. It's just, as you say, you can't save.
I'm doing a lot of Facebook Live things at all of our properties. So, if you want me to do it again with you guys at other locations,
oh God,
I can do it.
Love to do one at the asylum at the Randolph, if that. Anytime you feel
we can do that.
Up to it.
We can do that. We can hook it up. I don't know. I have to go online and find out when people are there. If they're not there, then we can do it. I'll set it up with you.
Yeah. No, that'd be brilliant. That would be brilliant. Everybody's so appreciative of it. So guys, get on board and see if you can donate by going through Patreon. Give these guys some love, because they're doing such an awesome job. I wish we had people like that here that could do it.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
not that Australian stuff.
Our developers here offer too much money, and you can never get these properties. The wrecking ball's gone through them before you can do anything about it.
Yeah. We're trying to do that, or before they turn them in to the apartment. Yeah. Because they claim to save the building, but
they destroy it.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
Brilliant. So, if you guys want to go, how long of a break do we take? Do we get back on the same page right here, or what do we do?
What we'll do is we'll end here. So, just for the guys who are watching, we're going to go off and do a little investigation, but we're going to do that on our own Patreon page, which is patreon.com/Haunted Horizons. So, we're going to do that for our subscribers, which Tim is actually on that page, aren't you, Tim?
I am.
Out there time. You are, yes, you're a member of that page.
You are.
You were honoured, no, can't get the words out. Honorary member.
Oh, so it's like a participating trophy, huh?
Yeah,
it is. That's the one.
We added you, but you have lots of fans on there, Tim.
Cool. I'll get over there someday. Meet them all.
All of them female. Who
Yeah.
love that voice. I think it's something to do with the voice and the accent.
Yeah.
We don't have an accent. You do.
That's right. Nothing to English over there.
Not with me.
Somebody said they're still waiting for you to sing, Shane. Tim.
What?
Shane said.
Shane
said they're still waiting for you to sing on that other page.
Maybe one day.
All right. Well, we may sign off from here, guys. If you're not a Patreon, then go and check out both our pages. We're going to go over to the other page now. Hopefully, you've enjoyed the walk around. By the looks of it, everybody is thanking you guys. Thank you so much for doing this. It's really made us absolutely. Actually, it's almost a homesickness for getting back over there, isn't it, Kay?
It is. I am so desperate to get over there.
Oh, because we were supposed to be there last year and we couldn't. It was all cancelled. This year, our government is saying we're not going to be able to internationally travel until 2022. But believe me, when 2022 comes around, we're heading straight in your direction. So,
cool.
Can't wait to get back and see you all and see these places.
Now, when we get off of here, what do I got to do to get back on that other page?
All right, what I'll do is I'll send you another link All right. So
Okay.
I'm going to set up on a different page, on our Patreon page. Then I'll send you the link for that page, and then you can pop on and do whatever, and we'll do the same. It'll be the same kind of setup.
Okay.
And we can all watch
How long a break are we going to give him?
Yeah, how long do you need to set up?
Not long. Am I allowed to
10
cuss
minutes.
on this next show?
You can do what you want on the next one, Tim.
He's about to explode.
We're all friends there.
I got to get the F-bomb out now.
Okay. Should we give you about 20 minutes? Is that enough, Alison?
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
15, 20 minutes, and I can make another
15, 20
coffee and
minutes. Yeah.
stretch my legs a bit.
All
All
right.
right. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much. That was
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
thanks a lot. Okay, bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you for the stars, guys.